All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Connection Hangout. Tonight's Connection Hangout, we got a very good educational one for you tonight. Before we get started, let me introduce my first guest host tonight, which is David Asarno out there in Marietta, Georgia. Welcome, David. How are you doing?
Good, Paul. How are you?
You just journeyed back from Florida. How was West Palm Beach?
It was beautiful. The water was crystal clear. It was absolutely gorgeous.
You get a chance to jump in it quite a bit?
We jumped in it. We took out a boat and we tried to catch some fish, but we weren't successful at that.
This big? This big? This big?
We didn't even catch one this big.
Okay. Well, that's one. I mean, it was like this, right?
They were out there. They just didn't find our lures.
All right, right on. Okay, well, let me go over to the, or go north of me up to Utah, Mountain Green, Utah, and welcome our next guest host, Triple Diamond Executive and Mama Molecule, Sue Brenchley. How's it going, Sue?
It is so good to be back in the USA.
Yes, we look forward to updates on your world travels there in Australia and New Zealand in just a minute. And then I'd like to bring on now our first guest speaker, who's going to share with us some of the events and things that have been happening in the United States with the Velocity Tour. Triple Diamond Executive, Terry Malmed. Welcome, Terry.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Again, just a real quick mention that the Connection Hangout, we are not a business presentation, nor are we a product presentation. For those of you who would like to get more information on ASEA Cellular Health, or ASEA Redox Supplement, or Renew 28 Skincare Gel, you can click on the More Info button if you have one beneath the screen as soon as we're done. Or get back with the person who invited you to be on this Hangout, and they can provide you with all the answers to your questions. So, like I said, well, actually, too, we may have Brent Brooks. I'm not sure if he was going to be able to make it tonight, moderating the comment thread. We'd love to hear you just chime in and say hi from wherever you're viewing from. Great to have participation. Let us know your thoughts out there. And, again, let's go ahead and kick off and talk about these Velocity Tour events starting here in North America. Terry, you were able to attend, and I was able to attend one of them there in New York, and I think the following week when I went up to Toronto, you guys had another one there in Maryland. Can you share maybe some of your thoughts or takeaways from those events?
Absolutely, Paul. You know, these events are so important, you guys. So, you know, none of us, like Sue was in Australia, Paul was in Austria. You know, we went to the one here in White Plains. We went to the one in Maryland. We're going to the one in North Carolina on the 27th because they are so important. You get to hear from different people. You get to hear different perspectives. So the one here in White Plains, we had Natalie Lewis, the co-founder and creator of Big City ABC. To listen to Natalie, you know, you get to learn so many things. We walked away that weekend just our brains just full and thinking, wow, you know, what I learned from Natalie was just life-changing. Then the next weekend, then we go to Maryland, and oh, by the way, we had our CEO, Chuck Funky, here in White Plains, along with Natalie. And to get to hear his presentation was awesome, and got to hear Sue do a training and Paul do a training. And I mean, again, it's just so amazing. Then we go to Maryland, and we have David Silverman and Debbie Wetzler and our president, Jerem Webb, and then we get to hear a whole new perspective. And so we've decided, you know, we've never heard Terry Latham speak. So we're going to go to the North Carolina one in Charlotte. That's the 27th of this month. I'm going to go and learn more. You guys, these events, you need to get to them. We're driving, you know, we're going to fly to the one in North Carolina. We drove to the one in Maryland. We go up to, you know, like I said, none of us are being paid to do this. We do this because we learn and we get to experience all of these, like I said, these different perspectives on the business and different, they do different presentations. They're just life-changing. So really, you need to get to these events. They're really so important, and the ones here are awesome. I can't wait to hear about Australia and New Zealand and Austria.
Awesome. We, you know, speaking of North America, this last weekend, I was with Karen Riley up in Sherman Oaks, California, and man, that area is really starting to evolve. Again, and some of the other reasons why you want to get to events, like Terry said, Natalie Lewis was able to pop in on one on the East Coast. We've got various executives, and also the content keeps getting upgraded and upgraded. Everything's getting tighter and tighter, and the presentation, as we're getting ready to release now this great new opportunity presentation, you'll see is a sort of collaboration of all the different teams, and the messaging really evolving to the next level. So you want to be out there and get this information firsthand. Everyone there just walks away with such a higher level of excitement and recommitment to the business. Okay, so speaking of... Yes.
I was going to say real fast, listening to Natalie, I got to learn something that was really important, to lead with the opportunity. So I've been doing this for almost 5 years, and to listen to her say, you need to lead with the opportunity. Why? Because whatever you lead with gets put on trial, and our product there's no need for it to be on trial. It's already proven. And she taught us how to talk to warm market and hot market, and again, to tell our loved ones, we're on this journey. We're really excited about where we're going, this opportunity. This is my future. And I would really love for you to come along with me, but I'm going to do it regardless, but I would love to have you with me. And it was just like this eye-opener that, instead of like Julianne said on her call last week about let's stop being pharmaceutical reps and let's lead with the opportunity, it's all coming together. And so it was a great lesson.
Yes, and it's great to be part of this whole process. And we encourage you, like another concept that Natalie Lewis said, is don't just listen to information to hear it or even to understand it. Listen to it and hearken and make it part of you as you are the creator of this amazing process. And as you do that, you're going to find yourself achieving higher and higher levels of success. All right, let's go to a different part of the world. And let's talk about the happenings in Australia and New Zealand with the Velocity Tour event with Sue Brenchley. Sue, are you there? How was it?
I am here, and it was absolutely the time of my life. It was my very first time to go to Australia and New Zealand. I mean, think about this. We live the most incredible lives. Yes, I went to help people. Yes, I went to advance the business, but my husband and I, we got to go. We got to spend time. We got to see the beaches of the world. We got to go look for whales. We went out on a boat one day and went whale watching. We didn't see any whales, but I've got a free trip anytime I go back to go see the whales, so I have to go back there now. And,
take me with you.
Absolutely. We actually got to see kangaroos in the wild. We got to see them jumping in and out of the pouches. We got to see little joeys. It was, there's nothing like seeing all areas of the world and seeing the people. The people there are so genuine and so amazing and so friendly, and the food was so awesome. And so in between all of that, we worked. In between, we did some meetings. We did some meetings in Brisbane. We did some meetings in, I went to Sydney, to Melbourne, and Auckland, and then Craig Daly was with us. Denny and Tom Robinson were there. They went to Perth. I chose to work in the other parts of the world. They went to Rotorua. When we got to New Zealand, it was like a magical fairyland. It's like whatever you've heard of New Zealand, it's even better than that. We went to an island. We got to just hang around with the coolest people. We got to hear story after story after story of how this product and this opportunity are impacting lives. We went to Australia. There were 3 golds, and because of that event, we've already had our first platinum break in Australia. So, as you can imagine, it's like they're so excited for us to come. They're so excited for us to bring our technology, and we just had a blast.
Fantastic. Yeah, I hear people that go over that part of the world, in Australia and New Zealand, they actually say New Zealand is the spot. Is that not even so much more amazing than
Australia? I fell in love with New Zealand, and I can tell you the next meeting I have to do over there, I'm going to stay 2 extra weeks. We went over to an island that was just, and we were there in their winter. They were all running around with coats and sweaters and shivering, and it was like 50 degrees, and we're in short sleeve shirts going, no, you don't understand. You don't have winter. You just have a break from your heat.
That's not winter.
It was absolute. And I know on the South Coast, you're getting closer to Antarctica. They do have snow down there, and we didn't get to go there yet. So we haven't even seen the most gorgeous part yet, and I'm already in love.
That's great.
I just heard that it is absolutely beautiful. One of the prettiest spots in the world.
Yep.
I'm going next time.
Yes, we'll definitely have.
You stated it live on our Hangout.
You know what? And this is what network marketing is all about, is it not? It's that you have the ability to go to these other countries and to go experience and meet all of these new people. That's the beauty of network marketing.
Yeah.
And it's a worldwide business. I mean, it's combining what you love to do with what you love to do.
Exactly.
Very good. I love that. Speaking of what I love to do, I love to travel as well, and I love to get new clothing. You guys like my shirt?
I want one.
So here's a funny observation. Here's a funny observation. I didn't intentionally buy a shirt that I thought was too small for me, so I could feel like the Incredible Hulk or something. But I think we have an issue in our country. You know, I think we need to be as lean as some of these Europeans because this is a medium, and I feel like it's chopstick inside.
So you can liken it too. It's like skin tight.
I know, but let me show you what it's supposed to look like here. I got a couple of actual pictures.
It looks great, Paul. It looks great.
Thanks. All right. Let me see if I can switch here over and present to everyone. Okay, if you guys can see my screen.
Yep.
You're standing in Paul?
Yeah. Is the screen holding? I'm hoping it's holding on.
It is.
Great. So this is Brian McChrystal with Team ASEA. Yeah, no, I'm not standing in a hole. Actually, the way the stadium was the ground sloped so severely that it makes me look that much shorter.
He's just a giant. He's like a big tall.
So this was at the Salzburg event there in Salzburg, Austria. They came out and had these great shirts for sale, and it was a great opportunity to get a chat a little bit with Brian. And just the week before, Damien Shaw had won or was on the podium for a previous event, so they're really crushing it over there. You should add them or follow them on Facebook. Go to and Twitter. Be following the Team ASEA bike racing team out of Ireland. Their Team ASEA Ireland. So congratulations to all those guys. A few other pictures I got here. Just a couple other pictures. This was on stage there at the Salzburg event with the Diamonds that were there attending the event from all over the world. And see, Ricardo, have some folks here. I say hi to our friends over there in Romania who drove quite a distance to be there with us. Another couple great shots. Hey, Terry, recognize anybody in this picture?
Oh, absolutely. There's Dubravka and Petra.
Petra, very good from Croatia. And with their new associates that came aboard. Actually, this is Petra's mom. And she was actually there too when we were there. And her name always escapes me, but she'd come aboard as an associate. She was just looking at us at the time back when we were there last year. So great stuff. Drove all the way out there to convention. Again, more great folks from Romania. Special thanks to Christian for this great picture that they took. And then, of course, one of the main reasons I went was for Sylvia, right? Our very own Triple Diamond executive Sylvia was inducted into the $1 Million Club, and we were just so proud of her. And she came up there, and also at the end, Tyler recognized her, in front of everyone there in Europe, and let everyone know that, because there's a lot of people that aren't aware that it's because of Sylvia, and her efforts is how Europe even opened in the very beginning. Of course, starting with Italy, and he dedicated that wonderful song that he composed at convention. He co-dedicated that to his father Vertus, who was there, as well as Sylvia. And I tell you what, there obviously wasn't a dry eye in the whole house. So it was just a really, really wonderful event. Again, like Terry said, and also David and Sue reinforced that it's just such a wonderful business to be able to go around to help people, first of all, health-wise, and be able to provide them the financial opportunity that we have, and to be able to do this around the world and experience these countries and cultures from all around the world. Now, I don't want to share some of the personal stuff I did. It's on my Facebook page, some of the pictures, but I didn't realize until going there that Salzburg is the home of Mozart and also the musical movie, The Sound of Music. And
Did you go on the Sound of Music tour?
Yes, I did. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I stood in the same spots where Julie Andrews sung Do Re Mi, and the gazebo where the daughter did, one of the daughters did I'm 16 going on 17. I mean, it was just like amazing. And of course, you see right at the whole hills where she's twirling and the hills are alive.
I was hoping you were going to sing it.
So it was just absolutely a phenomenal experience. And again, to go in the home that Mozart grew up in, and it's just a gorgeous little city. And then I was able to spend a day there the day after the convention with Yoje and Anya in Munich, and got a great tour of the whole Munich area. So special thanks again to Yoje and Anya for that. So just a wonderful trip, and great relationships growing and new ones forming. Just an amazing business. Okay, now what I'd like to do is let me reshare my screen and transition over here. And as I'm doing that, just want to talk to David as well, or about the importance of processes and business processes. Because I remember when David was first coming aboard, one of the things he was attracted to was our real importance and focus on being able to have a duplicable business process. And so I'd like maybe you to chime in, David, and give some of your thoughts on that.
Well, one of the things that attracted me in the beginning was we had the beginning foundations of what Genie is today, and I was on. It's interesting, Paul. I was. Mm-hmm. It was actually. Was it 2 years ago this week or 3 years ago this week when I was out in Vegas? Right, it was a week after that you, Sue, Brent, and I were on the phone, and you guys are talking to me about the online system, and I have an online internet marketing agency. And one of the reasons that, and I've worked with people like Tony Robbins and coached and trained for them, one of the biggest challenges that every business that's not successful is they just don't know what to do. They don't have a process or procedure or a system to follow. And one of the things that I love so much, and by the way, Terry just mentioned it, what Nadeline was talking about, putting the business first. Well, that's a system. The reason that most people talk about the product is because they love the product, but that's what people live, and that's what they put on trial. Well, the business is a business, and people are either going to get excited about a business opportunity or they're not. And one of the things that our new system, the Genie system at ABC does is it's got literally a step-by-step from the moment you sign up. What do you need to do? What do you need to watch? What questions they ask? Who do you call? What questions do you ask that person? Depending upon the answers, you want to think about this. I've got a client of mine that is in the med spa industry, and one of the biggest challenges they have is how the people are going to answer the telephone. Frankly, how are they going to answer the phone when a potential client calls in? Well, guess what? I know Paul, along with other Triple Diamonds, have sat down and thought through every single part of the process, so no matter who comes into this business knows exactly what to do, what to say, and how to do it. Mm-hmm. So I love it.
Yes, yeah, very good. And so what we've done now is we have taken it one layer more to just provide a very cookie cutter process with something you can actually follow along with in those. So even if you're totally, as you're starting your ABC training process, we've got a great welcoming message here and a list and some documents that you can go through. So what I'd like to do is we've already went over in a previous training some of the basics. We've added a couple more documents we wanted to share, but I know Terry had some thoughts, and then we'll pass it to Sue on this initial just process as a whole. So why don't you maybe share a couple of things, Terry, some of your thoughts we were talking about a little earlier.
Okay, absolutely. So of course we definitely want to get people, you know, a couple of things. We need to get them plugged into Jeannie immediately, right away. Get them in and get her teaching them. If you've been in the business for a while, go in and you need to learn the scripts. Even Dr. Foster, who could sell ice to an Eskimo, he is using Jeannie's scripts. He doesn't need them, but he does them because they are duplicatable. So really important with that. Next, you want to get your people to director in 14 days. If you do that, you will have a business partner. You have somebody that is in and rocking it. You know, I was saying to Sue and to Paul and David before we got on here, I said, you know, if people treated ASEA like if they were getting into, you know, buying a Subway or a McDonald's or a Burger King, and they spent $500,000 on this, how many days a week and how many hours a week would you work it? You know, and everybody I ask that says, I'd work 7 days a week, I'd be working 100 hours. So treat ASEA like you put $500,000. That was your investment, and you are going to work it. Do it for 1 month, you guys. Even do it for a week. You're going to watch your business take off. Treat it like you spent $500,000, your life savings, into it, and you watch what happens. I think we get too, you know, it's just too easy because we only put $40 in to not do it. Treat it like a business. Watch what happens. Get out there. Do those presentations. Presentations are key. We should have presentations going in every city, every day, throughout the United States, throughout Europe. But here in the United States, we're here. Get these presentations going. Really, really important and very simple. You know, plug and play. Put in some videos and do it. Again, you know what? Ask Donna Lee. We did some presentations for her this month. We did the first one. She got somebody in. We led with the opportunity. And that woman has gone from, she's enrolled 10 people in 2 weeks. 10 people. We did a presentation this last weekend in Vermont. Donnelly asked us to go to Vermont. Got 5 new associates that day. So ask her, do presentations work? They do. So you guys, if you're not doing them, you're losing out. And they're simple. We all started with nobody in a room. We all started with a plug and play, put in a video, and that's how we started. So I am challenging each one of you to use this system, use this training system, do presentations, treat it like a business, treat it like you put $500,000 in, and watch what happens.
Absolutely. Sue, you want to jump in?
Okay, so here's one of the things that I want you guys to think about from a system and why it's so critical. Your first 2 weeks in the business are your orientation. It's the part where you get trained. It's the part where you learn to be successful. And you're going to do that through a couple of things. And what ends up happening, everybody starts asking all these deep questions. They want to know more about the product. They want to know more about the comp plan. Well, the reality is none of that matters if you don't duplicate in your business and get some partners in your business. So the key is getting those first 2 partners. Once you learn how to get 2 partners, you can get 200 partners. So the things that we've added that you can now go download is there's a welcome letter. Everybody deserves to be welcomed into the business. And if you download these into a packet, hand it to people right there. If they're ready to sign up, send them to the link, email it to them. There's so many ways to get this information to people, but this is how it works. I just signed somebody up today. I'm going to tell them, look, I am your partner, and we need to get ready to go into business together within the next 24 to 72 hours. What you do the next 72 hours is going to set your pace. Now, we have a fast track plan that we have outlined to get you as fast as you can from level to level. The most important thing is you've got to get to level 1. You just signed up. Now we've got to get to director. That's your level 1. Nothing else matters. What do we need to know to do that? So one of the things the letter reinforces is the activity, and it tells you what we want you to do is we want you to be a successful tour guide, not an expert, because you need to be an expert in success, not an expert in redox. Then there's a great Getting Started Right Starting Now guide. And let me just go over, there's a couple of simple things that we're going to do. And the first question it asks is, do you really want to succeed? Guys, you owe it to the people that you sign up. Some people sign up to try the product. They sign up for different reasons. It's up to you to go through this interview process quickly so you find out who's in it to really do the business. Don't try to push somebody that's not ready. Try to help them. There's a roadmap to success inside, but it's that first 72 hours. Then it's going to ask you about the why. You need to ask that person, why is this business important? What is this success? What's this new money going to do for them? Why is this something that they want to succeed at? Because when you know their why and they know their why, everything changes. When you have discouraging days, when you can't find them because they're on the do not call list for a couple of days, you can leave them a message and say, don't forget why you're doing this business. Then you're going to set just 2 simple goals. You're going to do this the first 24 hours they're in business, which is, what's your income expectations and how many hours are you going to work? Remember the rules. They're simple. And then things to know and understand, because those things to know and understand are the things that are on the roadmap, which we trained before. So I'm not going to go in a lot of the roadmap other than to say it's step by step, it's action steps, it's got targeted deadlines if you're on the fast track, so that it's the actual road to bronze. Then once you get to bronze, it's the road to diamond. Now, the thing that we want to talk for just a few minutes about is the thing called the 10-day action track form. This is a critical thing for getting your business started right and getting those people trained. Your people need a partner to work their first group of contacts. So what you're going to do is you're going to have them list, just randomly, everybody that they can think of, people that are successful, people that are entrepreneurial, people that want a better lifestyle. People, it doesn't matter who they are. You want to get the most positive, successful people you can on this first sheet. Then you're going to qualify them a little bit. So you'll see that there's a column here that says also knows. After you write those down, you're just going to start at the top and say, okay, let's say that Joe is person number 1. Is there anybody else on this list that Joe also knows? Because you want to group these people and go after groups of people. There's power in 2 people approaching 1. There's power in friendships and relationships and bonds that are held together. But it doesn't really matter how you approach it. It matters that you do it. It matters that within a 10-day period of time, you're going to have at least 20 people just watch a video and evaluate this for themselves. And this is the part where most people fail, because they start talking to 2 or 3 or 4 people and they get stuck because they don't know why that person isn't just ready to sign up right now. They get worried about rejection and they start slowing down and they don't realize, I've got to invite 20 people. Some are going to say yes, some are going to say no. It's okay. But, excuse me, within that 10 days, hopefully you're going to find your first 2 partners in the business and hit that director status. Now, what have I done? I've just taught that person the very foundational building block that this business is built on. Every single person can now duplicate that one piece. And I don't care whether you're a bronze or a silver or a triple diamond or a director 700. Your growth and stability in this business depends on how many 10-day action tracks are being done and how many people are hitting director in your business. Because if you don't have that activity, if you haven't taught that foundational principle in our business, if everybody doesn't know how to do this one thing, then you end up having stress and frustration and unmet expectations in your business. So guys, you know, whether you need a reboot, whether it's time to go back to new people or even people that you are going to reapproach, now you can go back and say, guys, we're going to start over. We're going to do a 10-day action track. Let me show you how to find success, and we're just going to run with this and have absolute success now.
Awesome.
Fantastic, fantastic. That was a great overview. And again, you go to teamreactive.com. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and screen share so everyone knows exactly what they're looking for. Let me present to everyone here. Okay, so again, if I go to teamreactive.com, you're going to see on the right side there'll be a ball that drops here. It says New Distributor. Click here to get started right. Go ahead and click on that, and you're going to be in that section. Okay, so and if you scroll down, okay, we'll read all the text, and as you scroll down, there's not much. It's very simple and clean, and you're going to get all those links, including there that 10-day action track that Sue just covered. But make sure you grab all these. It may take you a total of about 20 minutes to maybe 30 minutes to go through all this, and then you're set for success. You've got everything in front of you, and as you're going through ABC, you can jot notes down and be able to reflect back and make sure that you're tracking on what you need to have happen.
And Paul, we should have this actually in the Genie system by next week.
Super.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of this is going to get integrated in there. You know, we'll always put the most recent things and give you a little previews there at Team Reactive, but you know, the goal is everything will be all inclusive inside of Genie. So, super.
And you guys know we're going to be doing a Super Saturday in Mahwah, New Jersey on the 11th. Next weekend, and we're going to be going over a lot of this stuff. So, we're really excited. But yeah, ASEA events. Go to ASEA events, guys, and see what meetings are going on in your area. Get to those meetings. Remember, it's all about building from one event to the next. So we were talking about having your presentations going on during the week. Attend those. Then you have a monthly Super Saturday. You get to that event where you get some really good training. You get your new people plugged in. And then you get to those quarterly events, those big corporate events. Really important, getting to convention. These are all, you know, we have the Envision conference coming up. We have so many great things coming up. You know, get to these events. They really, really will change your business.
And speaking of,
you're going to be in California on the 11th. We've got one in Salt Lake on the 11th. So there's lots of activity next week.
There is. So it's a week from this Saturday, like Terry's mentioning. Well, you guys are going to be in Mahwah. I'm going to be. I'm going to
be Pilar.
I know. Sorry, Pilar. I know I can hear the nails on the chalkboard. Sounding.
Trouble, Paul.
Yes, you don't live there anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't live there anymore. She's all right. But yeah, I'm going to be in Sacramento, which is Northern California. So that whole Bay Area from San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland. If you know folks, East Bay folks, you know, try to have them come on out. We're gonna have a great event. Awesome. Okay. In closing here, I just want to wish everyone a very happy 4th of July weekend here coming up. I actually have a good friend I was in the Marine Corps with a few years ago. He's flying in from overseas. He's actually been doing some combat stuff currently still in the region over in Europe, and so it's going to be good to see him. He's one of my corporals, and you know we think about it. And I know Paul Zane Pilzer made a statement in the movie Rise of the Entrepreneur, and we have people that still go to it. What he said was, there's still people. He goes, it's unimaginable that people would give up their freedom and their liberties. We live in the greatest country in the world, and yet people will go every single day to a job because that's pretty much modern day slavery, right? Someone tells you when you have to wake up, when you got to be somewhere, you've got to drive, spend your money to get there, and you can only leave when they tell you you can leave. He said that's kind of slavery. And he goes, and to think we live in the greatest country with the most amazing opportunities available to you, and of course we know ASEA is the most amazing and incredible and powerful business opportunities you could participate in. So focus, shift your thoughts over there. Just like Terry said, get in that mindset. This is a $500,000, like you just invested $500,000 into this business. If you treat this business like a serious business, you will create a serious business, and you'll be able to generate something, a legacy type income for you and your family for generations to come. So again, happy 4th. Take advantage of these liberties and independences that our forefathers gave so much to allow us to have, and we look forward to helping you every step of the way.
So we can.
And so, yeah, so we can. Exactly. They did, so we can. All right. Thanks, everyone, and special thanks. Thanks, first off, to my co-host there, David Sarno. Oh.
Thank you, Paul, for everything you do.
Absolutely, and thanks to Triple Diamond Executive Sue Brenchley. And, of course, to Triple Diamond Executive Terry Melmet. Thanks so much, guys. And we will see everyone next week. Next week is on the Connection Hangout is the Corporate Connection. Be sure to tune in to the In Touch call next Monday. As I was talking to Vice President of Regional Sales, Karen Riley, earlier, they're going to go into details on this executive momentum pool, and you're going to hear some specifics on the performance of that. Very, very exciting stuff. So again, tune in this upcoming Monday to that. Check your emails for all the conference call information. Take care, everyone. Good night. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, rest of the week, and I'll see you later. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.